Hi, Fleming here. Cat killer, neoliberal, tech scammer, polluter, whatever. um, Hylte Kommune, the municipality that Stedsans was in, has reported us to the police for environmental stuff, breaking some laws about that. And Hallandsposten, the local paper, has contacted us. We have this strategy that we only answer papers to be quoted in full if we want to go that way at all. And the same goes for TV and radio. We only do live, unedited. And that is because we have experienced that the answers that we've been given have been ignored by journalists if they didn't fit into the picture they wanted to paint of us. But I would like to answer the questions unedited, and they come here. Question number one is, how do you see that you, Stedsans, are suspected of environmental crime and investigated by the police? Short answer, I think it's a joke. Stedsans didn't bring any toxic chemicals into the forest. We bought local, we bought clean food, primarily regenerative, organic, secondarily. I think we were maybe the most sustainable business in that region. If not, then one of them. There are some other beautiful projects going on there. A municipality that is feeding their elders and their pupils in school with food for about 70 American cents per day, with conventional food that makes them sick, and that in one of the schools they took a huge area with grass and just put asphalt down in it and cut trees. I think they should sue themselves. And I will also say that we have been in court with Hylte Kommune once before. That was in 2018, I believe it was. A little short story on that. Before we bought the forest, we contacted the authorities in Hylte Kommune and asked if our project was doable. And we were sitting with the heads of each department, and they just said yes, 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 yes. Building process or building permissions would take 6 to 8 weeks. That was fine. We bought the forest. And then when we were applying, they had gotten a new head of building projects. And those 6 to 8 weeks became more than 2 years. And I was begging, I was screaming, I used every tool in the toolbox. We ended up building temporarily instead of building our original plans that never became anything. So when you build temporarily, it's not investments, it's costs. And that meant that after first year, our equity was negative, and you cannot have a negative equity in Sweden. They want to take our alcohol permission. We had dealt with it, we had got in new investors, but then they said that we should have asked for that new investor since we were selling alcohol. It was not true because we still had the majority. Anyways, it went to court, and it's not like you sit in a court and argue and object and stuff like that. It's an administrative thing. So you just send in the papers, and so did the municipality. Same people who had promised us a building permission process on 6 to 8 weeks. Same people who had delayed it. Same people who everything, and then they lied in court. Actually, we could see when we got the verdict, which was negative for us. But we could see that they had claimed that we had lost a special tax number they have in Sweden, which was not correct. And it also said this thing about we had to ask when we brought in new investors, which was not the case. But it gave us a lot of negative press, started by that same paper that is asking us these questions now, Hallandsposten. And then it spread to Danish papers as well. But of course, when we appealed, we won because we could show that they were liars. And funny enough, even though I had an argument with the journalist who wrote the first article from Hallandsposten, and you can call it an argument, I told the editor of Hallandsposten that they didn't solve the task, being the fourth state power that should control the politicians and stuff like that. But they wouldn't print that the municipality had lied for the court. But anyways, we won our alcohol permission. It cost us 250,000 Swedish krona, which is more or less equivalent of $35,000. A lot of sleepless nights, bad press, and plus the thing that we spent, I don't know, maybe 1.5 million on temporary buildings, maybe, I don't know, maybe 1 million. That made it hard when we should go and get new investors to build permanently, because it didn't look good in the accountings. So that is one of the major reasons why Stedsans is not here anymore. That is because of lying, hand-washing bureaucrats. So that was my first answer, I believe. Now, I will also say that from the very beginning, we contacted the authorities, the municipality. We have mails confirming that we were in dialogue about the compost toilets. Since they didn't answer, doing permaculture within a square, not permaculture system can be tricky. They couldn't even answer our questions when it came to the compost toilets. And then they did the classic trick, not answering. But we copied a system from an organic farming school in Norway. And when the controller came and saw it, she said it looked very good, and she took a picture of it was covered with green, and she said, I cannot see anything, I cannot smell anything, it looks good, but I need to come back. 3 months later, she came back, and she wrote to us that unfortunately we were not allowed to do it like this. We were supposed to keep it closed for animals for 1.5 years, keep water or rain from coming into it, and sewage from coming into it. And that was why we had it in barrels, which lived up to all this. And we have had controllants. They are supposed to come every second year from the municipality. Now, in the 8 years that we were in Sweden, we had 4 different heads of these departments. And I would say we probably had 4 different controllants when it came to environmental stuff. Probably the same when it came to food safety, and probably the same when it came to general procedures about, for instance, handling of toilets and how we did the laundry and stuff like that. So and we have a control report where they mention our compost toilets. We have building permissions for them. So when the authorities, the municipality, says that they didn't know about it, or that we didn't follow the rules, it's not true. The only time that we got a remark on it was their first visit in 2018, and we adjusted, and we showed, and we talked to them, and never heard anything again. So we didn't do anything wrong. If there was something wrong, it was the municipality. And I will also say that regularly, when there are heavy rains in Sweden, their wastewater systems are flooding over. So every year, regularly, there are swimming prohibition in the lakes and the rivers in in Hylte Kommune, the municipality that we were in, because of their shit and chemicals going out in the waters. Didn't come from us. We took care of our stuff. That's a part of permaculture. You take care of your own processes. So we used it, kept it for 1.5 years in these barrels, because then we could use it. We could lay it under our fruit and berry trees for compost, which is much better than a normal toilet that flushes out 10,000 liters of clean drinking water per person per year on average. So it was a good thing we did, and we didn't pollute anything. The same goes for our soaps. 100% biodegradable. I've shown it to authorities, never had any negative feedback. I've been told that I was inspiring, that it was fun for them to see. Yeah, I think I have answered this enough. I can show you when I come to the last question. I will just show where we got our film, where we got our soaps from, so you can see that they on their homepage describe these processes. So, what do you think of the suspicions presented in the indictment? Honestly, I cannot open the indictment that I received from the journalist, and I haven't received anything else. It has also turned out that the indictment has been pulled back because they are overdue. Our crime is overdue, and again, as we have said from the beginning, if we did something wrong, then the authorities should have told us, because they are the ones controlling it. We even pay for it. Again, just a proof that it was their responsibility to control our systems, and it's our responsibility to follow our procedures, and of course follow rules as we did. Do you think that you have followed Swedish laws and regulations? Explain how you reason about this. Yeah, as I said, many abandoned summer houses and forest houses are still using compost toilets in Sweden, and closed, or rain cannot come down, so there's no sewage. Holes for air to come in, so the compost process can go on, and you make the lowest 10 centimeter of the container where you keep it's not pure shit, it's more sawdust than shit, so you actually have the perfect combination of carbon and nitrogen for good compost. So it was dry and not nasty. It's not like that painting that Jonas Prøsjold, the journalist from the Danish Politikstar paper, printed. It was not disgusting to handle. It's not that picture that he painted about like a festival toilet from the 90s or 80s. It's not like that at all. And also that way that he called Mette, now Flora, he called her an influencer. I guess we're all influenced somehow, but that picture on your head of maybe a bit superficial advertising for overconsumption and blah blah blah. It was nothing with advertising for other brands or anything. She's clever. She writes and she touches people, and of course it was also communication for our project. But she was not an influencer. But that was that whole thing that dude did. Okay. Why didn't you clean the property before you left Sweden? As we have said to Jonas Prøsjold, the journalist from the Politikstar, and others who want to listen, we ran Stedsans for about 2 months after we left. We had used the whole year on building up procedures and changed the concept a little bit so it can run from the distance, and we had weekly meeting with staff, and we were doing a new share issue that we almost succeeded with, but didn't. We had bought tickets to come back in March, and we should be in Sweden for as long as was needed to build up procedures for the new project. But in February when we realized that we were ending in a bankruptcy, and then we are obliged to stop it, which we did. That was why we didn't clean the property, but it was not dirty as it has been presented. It was a running thing where people came and paid a lot of money to visit and were happy. And we sold the property and the inventory of Stedsans to a new owner who took over on stuff like that. So we didn't leave an environmental disaster like it's been presented. It's a lie. What was the reason you left 158 shit barrels on the plot? It was because it was not legal to deal with them when we left. They're supposed to be in those barrels for minimum 1.5 years, and the oldest ones were 1.5 years old this spring, and that was the half of them, and the other half is ready in a year, and they can be put out under the fruit trees and berry bushes, as I said. So it was not legal to empty them when we left, and there were procedures that we had showed to the authorities based on regulations. We had staff dealing with it, so we did. It's a non-story that has been blown up because tax fraud and dead cats and or killed cats or whatever, and shit sounded so good, but it's all BS. Are you going to pay for the removal of the barrels? Why? Why not? Nah, we have we don't have any money. We have sold the property. We have sold inventory to a new owner who knows how to deal with it. I don't know how he has been handling all this pressure actually, but no, we have followed procedures and done as we should according to law and moral. Whose responsibility do you think it is to leave the barrels? I believe I have answered that. Why did you release wash, dish and shower water into nature? It's a little badly translated. It's soaps that they talk about, that we just polluted and poured dishwashing soap and shower soap and blah blah out in the water. I have documented once before that we only used 100% biodegradable soaps made on whey from a leftover product when you make cheese or other dairy produce. Plant extracts, 100% biodegradable. I've shown the papers to the authorities, but I guess it's like 3-4 controllants back, so I understand if they don't know it, but it's not my problem. It's the municipality's problem to have a running procedure for stuff like this. I'll show you about this soap afterwards. So again, I believe that Stedsans was probably the only company, or very close to. There could be a few other good guys who work the same way, and they've even been sparring with us about their systems, and they are role models in the municipality. You can also ask, why, when there are good alternatives, why is toxic chemical legal? It doesn't disappear just because you flush it out in the toilet or it runs out in the drain after a shower. So why is it legal? That's an important question that Hallandsposten forgot to ask. How will you be able to pay the debt that Stedsans, and they spell Stedsans wrong all the time, had in bankruptcy? With what money? Dear Hallandsposten, Stedsans AB, it means that it's a limited company, like most companies are, where we as founders and majority shareholders, or also the other shareholders, it's not their responsibility. It's Stedsans AB was its own juridic entity, and that is how that works. Being an entrepreneur is difficult. You take a lot of risk, but you also do a lot of good. We created a lot of workplaces locally. We supported local producers who did good. We brought tourism to Forest Sweden. We did a lot of good, and we paid taxes every year, high taxes in Sweden. It legally, it's not our responsibility. I hate the fact that people bought tickets and look forward to visiting us, and we had to close. I hate the fact that we brought in investors who had expectations and did it to do something good, and it ended up in shit. I'm sorry about this. We did all we could. We did all we could. Could we have done other things? Yes, we did what we believed was right, and we were the ones who had the hand over the heat, so to speak. And we had the majority, and we were not alone in the shareholder group or the owner group on this decision. So we did our best, but it didn't work. And the reason why it didn't work was that we were so indebted from the first years, and one of the main reasons is the municipality. But there are others, and we're coming into that in other videos. And dear Hallandsposten, you should know that a limited company, that we are not responsible for the laws of a limited company. It happens every day in Sweden that companies are breaking down. Another big part of it, we paid 250,000 Swedish krona last year in postponed VAT from the Corona years, where we should all stand together. Hallandsposten, what did you do? What did you do? Hylte Municipality, what did you do? We suffered. We took personal loans, bad loans, because our accountings didn't look good because of you guys and your delayed permissions. Why do you angle it like this? Why do you angle it like this? We lost everything. We left our oldest daughter 1 month before she turned 18 in Sweden, because she didn't want to go with us to leave her friends and her plans. We have suffered so much. What are you doing? We don't have any money. We didn't bring any money back here. We're bankrupt. We're personally bankrupt. We don't have anything. We're the poorest people you know. Why are you chasing us? Is it because we did better than you? Is it because you're against permaculture? We're unvaxxed. Is that because we're unvaxxed? Do you get your advertising money from big pharma and big agro and big Hylte Kommune? So,